Hey, how about this?
What's that supposed to be? Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And a friend. Those guys didn't have any friends.
Come on, man, we want to be in the yearbook.
Oh, forget it. I got better things to do.
Oh, man. Square, man. Like just a square. Come on, man, give me that. Hey, I got these. Come on,
Now that's interesting. Smile.
Well, what happened to you two guys?
I stepped in a puddle.
Same puddle?
It was a big puddle.
Jason, have you got a project for Parents' Night yet?
I got lots of them.
Such as?
I was going to tell you tomorrow.
Maybe I can help you.
I sure do appreciate that, Mr. Dixon.
Tommy, what are you going to do?
Well, I don't know yet.
Why don't you and Jason work on a project together?
Me and him?
Why not?
In the first place, he ain't got no ideas, and I ain't got no ideas. What's the good of having no ideas together?
Well, together you might get some ideas. Each of you has a talent. Put it together, you might come up with an interesting project.
What's that?
Well, you can write. Jason draws. Pick a topic and do a series of cartoons.
Congratulations, Jason. It couldn't happen to a couple nicer guys.
Knock it off, man. Excuse me, man.
You got a problem, Tommy?
No, Mr. Dixon. It's just that it might be better if I didn't work with Jason on a project.
Why?
Well, he doesn't want to, and I'm used to working alone.
Well, for once, try a team project.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much we have in common.
Well, judging from your appearance at the present moment, I'd say you have a lot in common.
Thanks, Mr. Dixon.
Hey, man, what did he say?
What'd who say?
Mr. Dixon, about us working together. That's what you were asking him, wasn't it?
Yeah?
What'd he say?
He said we have a lot in common.
That means we're still working together.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of project do you want to do?
Well, I don't know, Jason. What do you want to do?
I don't know what I want to do, man. I'm asking you. What do you want to do?
I don't know.
Oh, man, we're going to be a big help to each other.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
When are we supposed to have our pictures taken?
Thursday?
Except better wear a shirt and tie, huh?
That's right. You shouldn't look like you enjoy teaching too much. I just saw a most unlikely combination. Jason Allen and Tommy Burns, and they were all muddy.
Yeah, I know. They fell in a big puddle together.
Oh, I'm glad to see Tommy doing something with somebody. I mean, he's bright, his record's good, but he never seems to get involved with anybody.
I know. He just doesn't really relate to other kids. That's why I put him and Jason on a project together.
Oh, yeah, maybe Jason would bring him out a little, huh?
I hope so.
Freaks.
They're not freaks, Dad.
I've never seen so many freaks in one place in my life. How do you learn anything in this school? You learning anything?
Yeah, it's a good school.
How is it they wear their hair that way? It's no wonder nobody wants them around. Sure, it wasn't like that when I was a kid. You stick to your own kind, if you can find one. My kids' clothes are ruined. And money don't grow on trees, Mr. Kaufman. I'm sure you know that.
You certainly do, Mr. Burns.
I work hard for my money. I don't sit around collecting welfare checks.
Well, I don't remember the last time I collected one.
Yeah. But you people do know a lot about money. Anyway, I understand that you people do have a special problem in this school. I know that.
What problem is that?
You got a lot of minorities.
Come in. Miss McIntyre.
Good morning.
Morning. This is Tommy Burns' father. Miss McIntyre is Tommy's counselor.
Hello.
Hello.
Mr. Burns was just explaining that we have a problem here because of minorities.
Oh, well, I hadn't noticed any real imbalance, Mr. Burns.
All you got to do is look around the halls.
Or around this office.
Now that you mention it. Well, let's get to the point, hmm? Now, yesterday, some kids pulled my Tommy into a mud hole. And Tommy wouldn't tell me who it was. Finally, I did get him to admit that one of them was blank.
That's the term.
I wouldn't be here if I thought Tommy could stick up for himself in these accidents. But he can't. He don't have my guts. Now, if I went to this school, I'd get a little respect.
I'm sure you would.
I don't want any special treatment. And I do know that everybody is entitled to an education. But I think you ought to figure out some way to keep these other kids away from Tommy.
Mr. Burns, I don't think the solution is keeping kids away from each other.
I guess that's one big difference between us, Mr. Kaufman.
One of them.
Well, Tommy has had this kind of thing happen to him before. I don't want it to happen again. I care about my kid, Mr. Kaufman.
Mr. Burns, we better get something straight before you leave this office.
What's that?
We care about your kid, too. Most of us wouldn't be here if we didn't. Because some days the fringe benefits on this job leave a lot to be desired.
Imagine that. A real live bigot right here in this office.
Not even a lovable one, either.
Hey, man, how you doing?
This is a tough one. I'd rather write a term paper than do captions any day. Oh, I've got it. One hard hat says to the other, I'm going to vote. And the other says, if I were you, I'd vote for the candidate who's for increased medical benefits.
Hey, man, out of sight. I can dig it. You know, this whole scene is turning out okay, man.
Yeah.
Now, just hold that, okay?
Oh, Pete, how's Jason and Tommy Burns doing on that project? Well, I think that they might come up with something. I hope it's not Mr. Burns. Miss Johnson, it's for the yearbook, not a centerfold.
I don't know why they don't use last year's picture. I haven't aged that much in a year.
I wouldn't mind if they used pictures from several years ago.
Okay, smile. Who's next?
Liz, go ahead.
No, you go. You've got a class next period.
No, I have plenty of time. You go ahead, okay?
Will somebody please go? I have a dog show to shoot in 1 hour.
Oh, well, I wouldn't want to keep a dog waiting. I'll go. Pete, what I meant was, considering our friend Mr. Burns, I wonder if we're not doing Tommy more harm than good. I mean, by involving him in this work with Jason.
Nobody's got to break out and live his own life sometime.
Yeah, well, I hope he feels that way.
I think he does. I talked to him recently, and he opened up quite a bit.
Good.
Smile.
I am smiling.
If we could only keep working, then we could finish tonight, though.
Yeah, man. It sure is a drag.
Yeah, it sure is. Hey, listen. Come on over to my house. We can work there.
We can?
Yeah.
You sure, man?
Yeah, I'm sure. Hey, come on over for dinner.
Hey, man, you don't want to call home and ask your mother before?
No, it's all right.
Okay, man. I mean, if it won't cause no problem.
Oh, no. No problem. No problem at all.
Okay, out of sight. Come on.
You like this kind of meat, Jackson?
Jason.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. You get much cooking like this at your house?
Some.
Mostly soul food kind of stuff, huh?
Thanks for the dinner. Mr. Dixon, I gotta tell you something.
What's that?
Me and Burns, we ain't working together no more.
Why not?
He invited me to his house for dinner last night. Man, you wouldn't believe his old man.
What happened?
He just let you know right out front where he's coming from.
He put you down for being black, huh?
He put me down for being alive.
What'd Tommy do?
That dude, he didn't do nothing. Nothing.
Anything interesting?
3 marriage proposals.
3 marriage proposals?
I was only kidding.
Oh.
I only got 1.
From who?
I was still kidding.
Boy. What would you do if a student asked you to marry him?
Well, first of all, I check and see what kind of grades he had.
I can see today is no day to ask you anything.
You're right.
Are you Dixon?
Yes?
I'm Mr. Burns, Tommy's father.
What can I do for you?
I'll get right down to the point. Did you arrange for my son to do some kind of project with that black kid?
I arranged for your son to work on a project with Jason, another student.
I want you to unarrange it.
Oh, why?
Because I don't like that kid. He's rude. He was having dinner at my house last night. He just got up and left.
Just like that, for no reason, huh?
Just like that. It was insulting.
Oh, you were insulted?
Yeah. And I don't want that kind of manners rubbing off on Tommy. And besides, I think that kid is riding on Tommy's coattails.
Do you know what the project is they're working on?
I don't care what their project is.
Then how do you know who's riding on whose coattails or if anybody is?
I know the way it always has been.
Mr. Burns, what terrible thing do you think is going to happen if Tommy and Jason keep working together?
No terrible thing is going to happen because they're going to stop right now.
Let's get one thing straight. I am here for the benefit of the kids and not the parents.
I'm telling you, Dixon, there is something else that Tommy can do by himself.
But Jason's side is the whole story. My father never let up on him. My father, he's so out of it. Why do you think I have no friends? I'm afraid to invite anybody home.
I can understand that.
But I should be able to. I have a right.
Yeah?
Guess I have an obligation, too.
I think you do.
Oh, I should have stood up for Jason. I wanted to. But I was afraid. I wanted to, but I was afraid of my father.
Why'd you invite Jason to your house?
To work on the project.
That all?
No. I guess I wanted to show my father I could. To prove something to him. And to me. I guess maybe I was using Jason.
I'm inclined to agree with you on that.
Dad said to cancel the project?
That's what he said. What you do about the project is your own business, but
don't use Jason again.
see you later.
What's that? I'm glad you found that hat.
You Jason? Can I talk to you?
Sure, man, you can talk. It's a free country.
I'm sorry about last night.
Yeah, well, man, I don't like to be patronized.
I can't change my father's thinking. If he's narrow-minded and a bigot, it's not my fault.
Well, you could have told me that out front, man.
Well, I just thought maybe once in his life he'd be different.
You thought, man, that's not good enough.
I know.
Try to be a big man for your father, man. That's why you invited me to dinner. I know that.
That's only part of the reason. The other part is I like you, and I wanted to invite you to my house.
Oh, man, I can really dig that, man. I can really dig a friend like that.
Well, all right. I didn't stick up for you. I'm ashamed of it. I'm saying I'm sorry. I can't do any more, and if that's not enough, I'm sorry for that, too. But I'm not going to stand here begging you for forgiveness. I've said what I have to say, and you can take it or leave it.
Look, man, if you'd have talked to your old man like that last night, we wouldn't be standing here talking now, you dig?
Yeah. It's too bad about that. It's too bad about our project, too. You wouldn't want to finish it.
Well, man, I got all the drawings finished. Let's try to finish something together.
What's that?
That is Jason and Tommy's project.
Oh, really? I like it.
Isn't it funny?
Well, that's it. Oh, Mr. Burns.
Oh.
No, Mr. Kaufman, Miss McIntyre?
Yeah.
This is Miss Johnson, Tommy's English teacher.
How do you do?
Miss Johnson, I'm real pleased to meet you, Miss Johnson.
Thank you.
Well, excuse me. I think I'm needed to dispense the punch. I'd really love to stay and chat, but woman's work is never done. Come on, Miss Johnson. I think they could use us both.
Bye.
Right. I came early. I'm working a night shift this week. Mrs. Burns will be along later.
Well, we'll be pleased to meet her.
Did Tommy get something together?
This?
The Working Man in America, 1970s style.
Take a look.
My kid did this, huh?
I think it's pretty good.
Mr. Burns, it's from the humorist point of view.
I don't see anything funny in it. It's putting me down. I know the lingo.
Hey. Yeah, I didn't think he was coming.
Well, man, he's here.
You still working with that kid? You two put this thing together?
Yes?
I thought I told you to cancel him out.
You know something, Mr. Burns? I don't care what you said. I told you before, I'm here for the kids and not for the parents.
I don't want to hear any of your liberal double talk.
Look, it's not liberal.
I made up my own mind about the project, Dad.
All right, sonny boy. You hold it down, will you? Just try to hold it down and remember, I'm your father.
Well, I know that. And I respect you for it. But I want you to act like one. Let me do what I want and stop trying to make me be like you. You live in a little box. I don't want to be like that.
And what do you think you know about the real world? What do you think you know about how tough it is to get along? You just wait. Just wait until you get on the outside and you find that your friend is trying to take your job.
Well, he's entitled to try.
And who told you that? Your black pal?
Oh, boy, are you prejudiced.
Yeah, maybe I am. But for good reasons. I don't know what the world is coming to.
I knew I should have gone with last year's pictures. Look at this.
Well, that's not bad.
Hey, I like it.
It's terrible. I just didn't feel very photogenic that day.
But those are just proofs. You look fine once they print it up.
Yeah, but yours and Pete's are great.
Well, I like Pete's. I don't like mine.
Oh, you look good. You both look good.
Where's Mr. Kaufman's?
Well,
Oh.
Well,
maybe he's got a better one at home.
who cares how he looks? I mean, Mr. Kaufman's such a beautiful person inside.
Mr. Kaufman cares how he looks. Let me see that. It's a good thing for that photographer. I'm such a beautiful person inside.
tell me where we're going?
I don't mind, if you don't mind spoiling my surprise.
Okay, since you put it that way.
Pete, what do you know about the FCC?
Oh, the Federal Communications Commission? Well, it controls everything that goes over the airways. You know, radio, television.
Wonderful. I knew you were just the man for the job.
But I thought we already had a first-rate janitor.
We do. What we need is someone to supervise this little addition to our extracurricular activities.
A radio station?
That's right. Well, it's only 10 watts FM. We're not exactly the answer to KABC. But if you knew how long I've been trying to get this thing for us.
How'd you do it?
Well, you see, this month, City College goes AM. So we just happened to inherit their license and their equipment, thanks to Morris Henry.
The school board, Morris Henry?
Same one.
Don't tell me. He's coming up for re-election next month.
Don't get cute, Pete. Just, run the station. Okay?
Well, I hate to shake your faith in my technological expertise, but I don't even know how to turn this thing on.
You'll learn. It's nothing. Look, here, bone up on the FCC regulations, and don't panic. I'm providing you with a first-rate qualified assistant.
Who?
Alice Johnson.
Hi, Kim. Hi.
Oh, hi. How you doing?
Good. Okay, does anyone here know someone with a third-class radio license?
Hey, me. I got one last year.
Ooh, Bernie, I didn't know you were ham.
Then you're the only one.
All right, man. Come on. You come here and work the thing.
I'm gonna be the disc jockey. Yes, sir, kiddies. This is your resident king of soul, bringing you the tunes, the swoon, the beat that's neat, and the jive that's always alive.
No. You're not getting it. The purpose of these study teams is to really dig into local government, visit sessions, ask questions. And I warn you, don't be intimidated by politicians and don't be scared off by their rhetoric.
So what you're saying is dig beneath the words.
Right. And as future voters, find out what's going on behind all of those bureaucratic doors. Well, it's almost time for the bell to ring, so since many of you are going to be at City Hall this afternoon, we'll break early.
Hey, listen, don't forget to tell everybody we start broadcasting this afternoon. See?
Quiet, quiet, everybody. This is it.
You're listening to KWWH 92.5 FM, the voice of Radio Free Walt Whitman High.
Remember radio? This is Racing Jason telling you to keep cool in the motor pool. It's alive and well right here at Walt Whitman High, where music is king and rock is our thing.
Thank you. I'm starving to death.
Well, you better eat on the run. Guess who wants to see you in his office right now?
Pete, it is not that I disapprove of the format you've chosen.
I didn't choose anything. You put me in charge, and I let the students select their own programming.
Will you let me finish my cop-out? Nor is it that I personally may dislike some of that music. But I just feel that we have a responsibility to the public.
What about the students? How much interest do you think there'll be in that station if we start playing censor?
Pete, I wasn't censoring.
Good.
I mean, I was suggesting a little variety in the format, maybe some public service programs.
Maybe we'll integrate some of the work we're doing with local government.
That's fine. See, that's just perfect. I mean, Gad, nobody's ever called me a censor before. That's a terrible word.
Yes, isn't it?
Free milk, free lunch. How about free pot? Yes, this idealistic new generation expects everything to be given to them. Let's not disappoint them.
Mr. Henry?
Yes.
Mr. Henry, don't you think we should discuss this lunch program seriously? To make sure we're all in agreement on what's going on.
What about free matches and a do-it-yourself kit for burning down the school of your choice?
There's your public service programming, Mr. Dixon. Walt Whitman visits a school board.
That's it. We can edit the tapes into 5-5-minute programs.
Yeah.
What you say, Mr. Dixon?
Come on, Mr. Dixon.
Well, you all certainly seem to be enthused about it.
Yeah.
Right. Isn't it our responsibility to let the public know what's going on?
Well, I guess we're about to start some public service programming.
Watch out, Morris Henry. We're going to sock it to you.
You know, something tells me we're about to bite the hand that feeds us.
Take a look at maybe, but not bite.
Oh, really? Am I talking to the same Pete Dixon who once said, somebody's got to knock that phony out of office even if I got to run against him myself?
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
That was only 2 years ago when Morris Henry was reelected. And Pete, that same perverse little twinkle that was in your eye then is there now.
Mr. Kaufman's office, please. Pete Dixon.
Yes, Pete.
We have that public service program that you wanted. And it's going on the air in 15 minutes. I thought you'd like to hear it first.
I trust your judgment, Pete. I'm really busy right now.
Mr. Kaufman, your new appointment is here.
Send him right in, please. Pete, I really got to go. I'll talk to you later. Morris, nice of you to drop in.
Seymour, I've only got a minute, but I thought I'd drop by to see how you were doing with the little radio station I presented you with. By the way, I brought along Joe Duggan of the press. Come in, Joe. I thought a little publicity was in order. Never hurts to get your picture in the paper, as long as they spell your name right, huh?
Morris, you're incorrigible.
Go.
Hit it, man. You're on.
Anytime you're ready, son. Thank you. That'll be all, Joe. Now, I have to run along, too, Seymour. I'm sorry.
Morris, run along. You just got here. Aren't you even going to see the radio station?
Life is short. As the poet says, I have appointments to keep and miles to go before I sleep.
Morris, you've got a few minutes to hear the noon broadcast.
A few minutes I can spare if you hurry it up. Where's this loudspeaker? Here?
Right here, right here.
Turn it on, turn it on. Good. That's good. Good and clear. It's a little loud, but it's clear, isn't it? Now, I've got to go. I've heard all this
will you
before.
just be patient a moment, please? I don't want you to hear just rock and roll. There's a public service program coming on.
Right,
I want you to hear it. I'm anxious to hear it
See,
myself.
I'll listen. Just see if you can hurry him along.
Hi. I have an appointment with Mr. Kaufman about the field trip. I'm afraid he's busy right now. He's in there with Mr. Henry listening to the radio.
Mr. Henry? You mean Morris Henry, the school board?
Right.
Oh, no!
And now the special public affairs program for KWWH-FM.
In the belief that you, the public, have a right to the facts, KWWH-FM brings you the first of a series of 5 programs on your school board in action. As a part of the civics class project, students from Walt Whitman attended 3 sessions of the school board. What you're about to hear are 3 excerpts from those sessions.
More Morris Henry.
What about it?
He's in Mr. Kaufman's office listening to the program. Oh, but don't you think we should cut in and say we're having a technical difficulty or something?
We could, but we're not.
When pressed by board member Loomis for continued debate on the school lunch program, Chairman Morris Henry replied,
How about free matches and a do-it-yourself kit for burning down the school of your choice? I gave you a radio station, and you had the gall to use it against me. You had the gall to attack me politically with my own gift.
Mr. Henry, all our kids did was hold a mirror up to you. Now, if you don't like the image, it's not our fault.
You deliberately edited that program, and my words, to give a false impression and to turn the public against me, and you cannot deny that.
Would you like a rebuttal? We'll be happy to give you the time.
No, thank you. I do not wish to appear on your station. Now, gentlemen, let me make one thing perfectly clear. Game time is over. I'm going to return here at 3 o'clock, and at that time, I want every one of those tapes placed in my hands.
Don't give me any ultimatums, Morris.
All right, let's put it another way, Seymour. There are 8 other high schools in this district which are begging for radio facilities. The decision is yours.
Mr. Kaufman, there are a few calls.
Will you hold the calls for Pete's sake? Oh. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry.
Well, do we give him the tapes?
We don't. We lose the station. I hate to lose that station.
But the man's wrong. You know what kind of man he is.
I know. I wish I didn't also know that you've been an outspoken critic of his ever since the election.
You think that I'm using that station to attack him?
Had crossed my mind. Are you?
No. I'd like to, but I'm not. You see, I didn't put those words in that man's mouth.
Oh, yeah, Pete, but you know what you can do with tape editing. You know how you can make a man look. Your students edited that tape, and you okayed the final product. You know that if there's any doubt, if you were using those tapes to ruin him politically, you got no right to run them.
You may find this hard to understand, but I've decided to cancel the rest of the series.
I don't get it, Mr. Dixon. Here we done something, not just talk about it, but done something to show the public what's going on. And you're telling us that's wrong.
Not wrong, Jason. Just one-sided.
Translated, that means you're free until you disagree?
No. What it means is that I'm not sure we didn't edit out a little something called objectivity and edit in our own personal feelings about Mr. Henry. I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to me, too.
Look at it this way. There'll be other programs.
Why bother? They'll just shoot us down again. We know how it is, Mr. Dixon. The classroom's one thing, but the big bad world, that's something else.
Well, for what it's worth, I'm sorry. But, I'll be back here at 3 o'clock to pick up the tapes.
Well, you know what they say. Sometimes we all have to compromise our ideals a little. You know, live to fight another day and all that.
With the disappearance of the buffalo, the Indians' days were numbered. Though many dreamt of the buffalo's return, it was only a dream.
Thank you, Larry. Any questions? Jason?
This isn't about the buffalo. It's about something you said the other day when we were talking about who we can believe.
Go ahead.
Well, the way I interpret what you said is that we got these different loyalties to our parents, to our school, to our country, our job.
That's right.
But sometimes it don't jive. So what I'm trying to say is this. If our first loyalty is to us, and your first loyalty is to you, then you got to do what you got to do. And we got to do what we got to do, right?
That's right. Providing you're willing to pay the price. And there usually is one. Oh, Jason. Just what are you driving at?
I just want to make sure I got the whole message, man.
There you are, Dixon. I'm sure by now you realize what an unkind thing you were trying to do to me. I don't apologize. I just want you to remember one day that it was I who saved you from the worst pitfall in the teaching profession, ivory tower politics.
I don't believe it.
What's that supposed to mean?
After everything that's happened, you're still trying to get my vote.
Thank you. Thank you. Boys and girls, I understand you have some tapes to turn over to me.
Tapes? What tapes?
The school board tapes Mr. Dixon told you to have here by 3.
I thought he told you, Helen.
Not me. Well, didn't he tell you, Pam?
Oh, that's right. I did have them, but I was late for my Hey, Larry, I gave those to you.
Oh, those tapes. Well, I put them right here. Somebody must have moved them.
Moved them? Copped them. I swear, Mr. Henry, you just can't trust nobody these days.
All right, there, son. I guess the play period is over, and unless those tapes are put in my hands inside of 1 minute, you'll never work in this district again.
Suppose I tell you that we're thinking of making copies of those tapes and handing them over to the biggest station in this town.
You wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. But if we did, you'd have a much rougher time muzzling them, wouldn't you?
This is your KWWH on the spot where it's hot newscaster, Racing Jason, bringing you this live debate. Switch it, baby.
Do you know what you're doing? You could get expelled for this.
Like the man said, if you're willing to pay the price.
But those remarks were made in jest. I mean, your program makes it sound like I don't want those kids to have decent food.
Do you? Do you really care about the kids who can't afford lunch?
Of course I care. I'm a responsible elected official. But I will not condone freeloaders and massive handouts and irresponsible behavior. That's all.
We gave you a chance to make a rebuttal on the air. You wouldn't take it.
Of course I wouldn't. I have the privilege of choosing the forums for my public appearances, and this Mickey Mouse high school radio station is not... My...
We paused in our debate to bring you this musical interlude.
You knew we were on the air.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Henry, I didn't.
As for you, Kaufman, I want to make this crystal clear. You are going to walk the plank.
Morris, if I get one more ultimatum from you, one more threat to get rid of me, I'm going to jump at the opportunity.
Don't have to jump.
If you will be quiet for a moment, you just might learn that for some reason I will never understand. The gods have chosen to smile on you again. You've come up smelling like a rose from this thing.
What does that mean?
That means that my switchboard has been jammed with calls all day from people that heard the noon broadcast and are dying to hear more.
You crucified me, sir.
I wish I had, Morris. Unfortunately, only half of those people thought that there was anything suspect in your behavior at all. The other half thought that we were the villains for treating you so badly. In fact, even right now, while you were on the air, there were people calling impressed with your willingness to face your attackers head on.
You don't say. Well, where's the microphone? And now, my fellow citizens, in summation, I should like to add that I salute your continued interest in the workings of the school board. I also want to salute these dedicated young people here in this high school and in this radio station who have reminded all of us that the greatest heritage we have in this country, the greatest freedom, is the freedom of speech. And now, before I return to my lonely chambers to toil the long night through with the members of the board,
Before we begin with the team reports, I think we ought to clear the air a little bit after the fireworks.
Fireworks? It felt more like war to me, and we lost.
Just the battle, Jason, not the war.
How you figured that?
Well, I think we learned a little bit about politics, and I think Mr. Henry may have learned what to expect from future voters.
I bet you one thing. We did a number on his head he will not forget.
I think you're right, Pam. Oh, Kim, why don't you tell us what's been going on at the city council meetings?
You think the school board's got a problem. Wait till you hear these tapes.
Kaufman, sir.
Oh, morning, Herbie.
So you know all those souvenir books we're selling to the Indians, too?
Herbie, I'm a little busy this
I'm
morning.
down to 2. Really 1, because I'm going to go for the last one myself. Even though $3 is like 50% of my weekly income.
That's a very commendable sacrifice, Herbie.
Well, it's an act of love, and it's only $3. It'll make you feel good. Makes me feel good.
Herbie, how many times this semester have you made me feel good like this?
Being a beautiful person has to cost something, right? Thank you very much, Mr. Kaufman.
Herbie? That was a 5 I gave you.
I'm sorry. You don't mind silver, do you?
Sorry about all the silver. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Looks like Herbie scored with 3 second-to-last books today.
Make that 4.
Yeah, we all fell for it.
That kid is amazing. Well, one consolation, he's going to have to spend half his weekly wages to buy the last copy.
He's a beautiful person.
And being a beautiful person has to cost something, right? Right.
I don't know how to tell you this, Mr. Kaufman, but it looks like your metal shop has gone into business.
Gone into business? What do you mean?
Well, George Davis, a friend of mine, told me he paid for materials, and your kids did all the body work and painting.
On what?
His car. Good job, I saw it. But gee, this last month, I know I lost 5, maybe 6 jobs to your free fender clinic.
Jimmy, that's bad news. There are definite rules about that. You have every right to complain. We're not here to put you out of business.
I feel like a fink.
No, absolutely not. Do you have a phone number for Mr. Davis?
Yeah.
Thank you. Excuse me. Hello, Bonnie. Would you get me 558-6548, please? Well, you don't have one line? Okay, keep trying.
Here's my point. The government's whole system of competitive bidding is putting it where it's at. It's dealing with reality.
Pam?
Look, it seems to me that if you get a contract by making a low bid and you know it can't be done at that cost, that is dishonest.
Right.
Long, big business is never that simple.
Why not? A lie is a lie.
So you think big business is a lie, huh? Does anybody else have any opinions on the subject? Bernie?
Yes, sir.
Competitive bidding. What's your opinion?
Well, I think we need more facts. Sir, always say, get the facts, then decide.
Good stall, Bernie, but not good enough. May I have that, please?
Oh, you mean this? Well,
It's mine, sir.
What are you trying to do, sell it?
Oh, no, sir. I was just lending it to him. I'd never sell that chronometer. It was given to me by my Aunt Clara.
Oh, your Aunt Clara.
It's sort of a family heirloom, sir. I'll take that home and keep it in the family, sir. Here's the point, Larry. You have a project. You do it for the grade, right?
Right.
And you buy your own materials at a discount, right?
Right.
So once you get your grade, what do you do with the project, Larry?
Keep it or give it to someone.
Larry, what would guys like you do without guys like me?
Stay out of trouble, I think.
Larry, people pay big money for stereo cabinets and end tables. Big money. And you make them for nothing.
I make them to learn how to make them.
Good. So learn on someone else's time. How many end tables can you make in a month?
4, 5, working after school.
Go for 8. I'll give you $5 each over the cost of your materials.
And how much you gonna get for him?
What's the difference? My profit is small. I do this for love.
Oh, and when it comes to hustling, nobody loves better than you. Mr. Kaufman want to see you in his office.
Thanks. Peace, brothers, peace.
Yeah, profit, brother, profit.
You're not even in auto shop. What are you doing soliciting these jobs?
I was just helping.
Helping whom?
Students, teachers, anyone I can.
Oh, I see. Oh, you mean these are all Walt Whitman students and teachers here, is that right?
Well, the regulations say that a teacher can get his car fixed. So I figure any teacher at any school. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair to the teachers at grade schools or junior highs where they don't have auto shop. True?
Oh, it must be true if you say so, Herbie. Excuse me, this, where is he? Mr. Davis here. Now, is he a school teacher?
Davis. I can't place the name, sir, but if he's on that list, I must have thought he was eligible. I mean, I know the regulations, sir.
Oh, I'll bet you do, Herbie. I'll bet you have them all memorized. Okay. Okay, that's all.
Sorry, Mr. Dixon. I guess you must have called between 10 and 11.
Why between 10 and 11?
That's when it seems to get the most busy.
Is there something wrong with the switchboard? Every time I pick up the phone in the teacher's lounge, the circuits are all busy.
We've had a busy day, Miss Johnson.
Well, how am I supposed to order tickets for the drama club?
Well, maybe when the phone's clear, I could send a telegram.
Oh, swell. Oh, boy, send a bird. Oh, I can't believe it.
I can see already this is one of those days. What's going on out here?
That's what I'd like to know. Debbie Burton's mother sent me a note saying she's been trying to call me for 2 days, but the lines are always busy.
Excuse me. Bunny, have you been picking up all of these?
Mr. Considine called Mr. Emery regarding American Legion program. Herbie called Mr. Ross about cedar chess. Does Mr. Considine know if the print shop has any Hebraic characters?
Please, I read them. Bunny, this is it. From now on, I don't want you to accept any more messages for Herbie Considine. I'd like you to tell that to all the other girls that work the board, please.
Yes, Mr. Kaufman, I'm sorry. We were just trying to help. Herbie does so much good, you know?
Oh, yes, I know. Do you have that phone number from Mr. Davis?
Oh, it's right here.
Would you try to get it for me now, please? Okay. Pete, come on in.
What's with Herbie Considine?
I don't know, but I tell you something. I'm going to find... Excuse me. Hello. Oh, Mr. Davis, yes. This is Seymour Kaufman over at Walt Whitman High School. I wanted to ask you about that car you had repaired in our body shop. Uh-huh. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. No. All the bills are final. What was the total on that bill, please? Mm-hmm. And were there any additional charges? Uh-huh. Oh, yes, he is. He's a great little hustler. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very... oh, by the way, do you happen to be a school teacher, Mr. Davis? I see. Well, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Herbie had Mr. Davis' car fixed in the body shop.
And Mr. Davis is not a teacher or employee.
How'd you guess?
I'm psychic. Herbie cut himself in for a piece of the action, right?
Cost was $25 for Herbie.
Well, there's one kid who's getting something out of school.
Oh, yes, between woodworking, print shop, ceramics, a few other odds and ends, it's a living.
Probably a very good one. Low overhead, too.
Not funny.
Who's laughing?
One thing about Herbie's escapades, we get to see his father. It's so seldom.
That's for your benefit, Mr. Kaufman. It's supposed to suggest that Herbie wouldn't have these moral lapses if I exercised my visitation rights.
Or paid some child support.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about Herbie.
Well, fine. What's the problem?
Well, the problem seems to be that Herbie's in some gray areas. Taking that money from Mr. Davis, for example.
Well, I don't see why that's any different.
Would you let him finish? Let somebody finish.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were listening.
All I want to say is that Herbie's a very bright boy, but his whole adjustment seems to be beat the system.
So what's wrong with that?
Some people find it morally reprehensible.
Yeah, the dropouts.
You still dismember like a professional, my dear.
Oh, you talk so good. It's too bad the money's never where the mouth is.
Mrs. Considine. Mr. Considine. I think we better take a good look at where Herbie is headed before it's too late.
I have no influence with him. I've tried.
There he goes. Retreat.
You two want to talk about your son?
Herbie can take care of himself. Nobody needs to worry about Herbie.
I'm providing a service. I never asked for money.
Oh, Herbie, for Pete's sake.
People get a fee for their time and trouble in the real world. Money is where it's at. Thing is, I can't decide if I want to be a used car salesman or a brain surgeon.
And I tell you how it's going to be. When you're out in the real world, you let your conscience be your guide. But while you're in our little sandbox here, I don't want you to have anything more to do with the body shop, the switchboard, the print shop, or any other enterprises your fertile brain might initiate. Understood?
You're the boss, Mr. Kaufman, sir.
Herbie?
Hi, Mr. Dixon.
What's up?
Just been sitting here meditating, sir.
Meditating?
Yes, sir. You know, sometimes a guy's got to take a long, quiet look at himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, what'd you come up with?
I'm clean, Mr. Dixon. I mean, Mr. Kaufman is lowered the boom on me as if I was some kind of a criminal. I'm not. But because I'm a kid, I don't have the same kind of rights that other people do.
Oh, I see. So you've been sitting here meditating on your civil rights, huh?
I figured you'd understand my feelings, Mr. Dixon. Maybe you'll talk to Mr. Kaufman for me.
What shall I talk to him about, Herbie? You were skimming, chiseling, cutting yourself in?
I was succeeding. That's why he came down on me.
No, Herbie. He came down on you because you took $25 from Mr. Davis, so quit kidding yourself.
I was providing a service. If someone wants to give me a tip, I have a right to accept.
Tell me something, Herbie. Did you split that tip with the kids who did the actual work? The kids in the body shop? No, Herbie, I don't think you did. You just exploited them and you know it. So you'd better think about it.
Bonnie.
Yes, Miss Johnson?
Take all of these tickets out of the rack, okay?
Aren't they for the show?
No, the whole set's out of register. Print shop had to do them over.
They look all right. Don't they, Herbie?
Yeah.
Let me see those. Here. Some of them are okay, but on most of them, the printing didn't even hit the cardboard. It's just easier to run off a whole new set.
Bonnie, I think you better destroy this set, okay?
Yes, Miss Lane.
We're done with the announcements now, Miss Johnson. Can I go?
Well, yeah. Unless you want to stay and help some more.
No, I don't want to stay and help some more.
My, another beautiful person heard from.
I'm sorry, but I'm not doing anything for this rotten school that I don't have to do.
Oh, come on, Herbie. You were sharpshooting and you got caught. Don't blame the school.
Why not? I'm supposed to be some kind of a criminal, aren't I?
No, Herbie, nobody thinks that.
The faculty does.
Well, I'm the faculty, and I don't think you're a criminal. Look, Herbie, you've got exceptional gifts for organizing, promoting, and selling. We all know it. But your energies need channeling. Tell you what, why don't you come by my office later and we'll talk about it?
It's a waste of time, Miss McIntyre.
Why?
I'm a one-man operation. I have to call my own shots.
Herbie, you keep talking about the real world. Well, when you get out there, you're going to find out that no one is a one-man operation.
She's right, Herbie. You know, you have so much to give, and we could really use your help. In fact, you could take over the ticket sales.
You sure could. They're going in the red, and they could use the Considine magic touch.
Herbie?
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I don't want to be in charge, but I'll take 500 tickets.
You what?
You're going to sell 500 tickets?
Yeah, how much do they go for?
$2.50.
I guarantee you $3.50. Is that beautiful enough?
It's super beautiful.
How?
The magic Considine touch.
Who are you?
Herbie Considine. And you are Mr. Gerard.
Yes, that's right. I mean, are you in the show?
No, sir. The reason I'm doing this, sir, is because this is my last year in school, and unless plays like this can pay their own way, this will be the end. Budget cuts, you know. Now, we can always get money for the dopers and the dropouts, but we've got 120 good, clean kids really involved in this. And we figure our faculty has got to set an example.
Oh, is everyone buying them?
Who could refuse?
Oh, well, I mean, if it's expected,
Thank you very much, Mr. Gerard. You have a real first-rate attitude.
Oh, thank you. Anytime.
Well, did you sell a stack for us, Bernie?
Well, I took 10 and I sold 4. 6 tickets, $10.
Dang, and I took 10 and sold 2.
Oh, I didn't sell any.
I know it, man. Everybody's broke.
Well, how does it look, huh?
Dismal.
Herbie's doing good. He's got every hustler in the school selling tickets for him.
How do you suppose he does that?
Got me, but if I figure it out, I ain't snitching.
I have a lot of tickets to return.
Oh, Herbie. Not you, too.
I'm sorry. Here are the 78 I couldn't move. And here is my personal check for the 422 tickets that I sold.
You're kidding!
Herbie! You sold 422 tickets?
The dude got talent, real talent. It's like a full house, huh? I
Hi, Pete.
Hi.
Say, Pete. Could I trouble you for a minute?
Sure, Jeff.
I'm a bit confused. Maybe you can help me out. These seats are occupied.
Well, why don't you try an usher?
Well, I hate to disturb anyone. I mean, these seats are occupied by a couple with a set of tickets exactly like this. The same color, the same row, the same seat number. I do hate making a fuss.
There must be some mistake.
Oh, sure. That's what it is.
These 4 tickets are the same as these 4 tickets.
They are?
There are 2 long-haired hippies sitting in our seats.
It's been some
My ticket is the same as his ticket, and that's 8 tickets.
What's going on? Oh, dear. Oh, boy.
I would like to know, as briefly as possible, what happened.
I honestly don't know, Mr. Kaufman.
That's brief. All right. How many duplicate tickets were there?
18, wasn't it, Bonnie? I don't remember exactly. In any case, you were supposed to destroy them.
All right. 18 duplicate tickets, and somebody sold them. That's $45, right?
That's right.
Well, why beat around the bush? Who's responsible?
Mr. Kaufman, it was my fault. I'm class treasurer. I shouldn't have left those tickets lying around.
Bonnie, you left them lying around, but you didn't take them, did you?
What's the difference? It's still my responsibility.
Let me ask you one more question. Do you have any idea who did take them?
No, Mr. Kaufman, I don't.
Herbie? Do you?
Why ask me first? There were plenty of other kids in that ticket office.
Well, I sure didn't get them.
I don't know nothing about it.
I didn't take them.
Okay. That's it. Whitman High has been had for $45.
Mr. Kaufman, it was my responsibility. I'll make up the money. And I think I should resign as class treasurer.
Oh, wow.
The treasurer's supposed to be responsible for other people's money. And I wasn't.
Hey, we can always raise more money.
Herbie, money is not the most important part of this situation. Do you understand that?
Hey, dummy.
How'd you figure you'd get away with it, Herbie?
Well, I sold tickets to a lot of merchants who usually don't show up for these things. This time they did. Why'd you cover for me?
Because some people are beautiful people. Even when they're bad guys.
Amazing. You were the last one I would have suspected.
I guess you knew it all along.
Well, Herbie, they say confession's good for the soul. You feel better?
Not much. What are you going to do to me?
Well, unfortunately, you see, the rack and the wheel and the Iron Maiden are all out of style now. So we're going to start with a month's detention. After you pay back the $45.
No sweat. I'll do that easy.
Bet you will.
Frederick Douglass Pam and Helen's doing Harriet Tubman. Jason, who have you got?
I got Whittier, Lowell, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Harriet Beecher Stowe.
You mean you intend to cover all of the abolition literature of 4 writers by tomorrow?
Not me alone. I'm gonna do a team report.
Hey, that's a good idea. Who are the others?
Larry and Herbie.
Me? First I knew about it. I've got things to do tonight.
You sure do, because Emerson wrote a whole bunch of stuff about independence and being a man and answering to your own conscience. And the reason I chose you, Herbie, is I figure you're a natural expert on the subject.
Very good choice, Jason. Herbie, I can hardly wait to see your report tomorrow.
But I've got things to do tonight.
Of course, if you can't cut it, then we just have to find somebody else. Let me see.
No, I can cut it. I can cut it easy. It's just that I've been had.
I don't know what you mean by that. Everybody knows you can't count on this man, Herbie.
Jane.
Yeah, I've been helping Bernie with the radio project. I'm the new class advisor to KWWH.
What happened to Pete?
Oh, he talked fast and I went for it.
Cesario, by the roses of the spring, by Mayhood, honor, truth, and everything. I love thee so that maugre all thy pride. Nor wit nor reason can my passion hide.
By innocence I swear, and by my youth I have one heart, one bosom.
I'm sorry, Miss Johnson.
We
just can't do it.
We can't say these lines to each other.
All right, all right. Thanks for staying late. We'll try it again tomorrow, okay? Oh, hi.
What's that all about?
Well, it's an experiment. You see, I thought it'd be a terrific idea if we did a production of Twelfth Night, like they did in Shakespeare's day. You know, when men played all the parts.
It's an interesting idea. You have to remember, though, that in Shakespeare's day, men had to play the parts because women weren't allowed to be actresses. Those restrictions don't really apply here at Walt Whitman.
Don't think it's a good idea, huh?
No, it's interesting, but I gotta warn you, you're really asking for trouble.
Don't you see how it fits the mood?
It's far out because I was really only thinking of using just music.
Why? The sound effects make it so much more realistic. We can get foghorns and crowd noises, trains dripping faucets.
That's really good, Howard.
Good morning.
Oh, hi, Miss McIntyre.
Hi, how's it going?
You couldn't have found me a better assistant. In fact, it's working out that I'm just helping him.
Come on, Bernie.
What an actor. And when we're timing, he takes all the parts. And he does them so well, I almost forget what I'm doing.
Really? Had you ever acted before, Howard?
No, not really. I used to think about it, but...
You should hear him. He does everything. Kids, old people, everything.
Oh, do tell.
Do not extort thy reasons from this clause, for that I woo, thou therefore hast no cause. But rather reason with reason fetter. Love sought is good, but given unsought is better.
You see what I mean?
Yes, he's very good.
By innocence I swear, and by my youth I have one heart, one bosom, and one truth, and that no woman has, nor never none shall mistress be of it save I alone. So adieu, good madam. Nevermore will I my master's tears to you deplore. Yet come again, for thou perhaps mayst move that heart, which now oppose, to like that love.
That's fantastic. I mean, it's simple and convincing. I'm really amazed.
Thanks.
Will you do the part?
Oh, I'd like to, but I am supposed to be working with Bernie.
Oh, that's okay. We can work around it.
Good, good. Okay, everybody dismissed.
It's weird. You jiving, man. You swear the dude was a chick. Everybody's trying to see her.
So, what's wrong with that?
Nothing. I just wish I had the concessions.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, step up and see the freak show.
You know what I can't really figure out is how you do it so good.
What?
You know, play a chick.
Oh, I don't know. It's just acting. I just pretend I'm the person I'm playing. Those guys really think it's funny. Yeah.
Boy, there sure are a lot of creeps in this world.
Yeah, there sure are. Let's go, Howard.
You get the lunch hours to work on the radio script. I'll be able to do both. What do you think, Bernie?
Yeah, that's okay. Hi, Bernice.
No, it's starting on you.
Yeah, well, like Kellen says, they're a bunch of creeps. Listen, I'll see you at lunch, okay?
Right. See you.
Hey, Bernie.
What?
Pass it on to your friend.
Hey, I'm gonna pass something on to you in about 3 seconds. Hey, Bernie, what's the matter? Can't you take a joke? Sure, when you tell me what's so funny.
And are you kidding?
Hey, are you trying to say what I think you are?
You figure it out. You ever seen him with a girl?
So he's shy. Oh, man.
You ever see him out for a sport or in a gym class? I put that all together, and then look at how he grooves on playing a girl. Now, you gotta be pretty dumb not to think he's...
According to Jason, the American Revolution and the Hungarian Revolution had a lot in common politically. Does anyone agree?
Yeah, man, we wasn't too shy sticking our nose in Vietnam. And how come dropping a few plane load of supplies to the Hungarians was such a big deal?
Anybody got an answer for that?
Do you have an answer, Mr. Dixon?
Bad timing, maybe. The Korean War was still fresh in people's minds. Mark, you and Steve seem to be having your own private little party back there. Would you care to share it?
No. No, sorry, Mr. Dixon.
Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. There'll be a written exam on Friday.
It's a rose.
I see.
Yeah, well,
Those guys giving you a rough time, Howard?
no. Just that I'm doing the play and they're kidding around. I can take a joke.
Good. It always helps to have a sense of humor.
See you, Mr. Dixon. What's going on? Hey, get off my locker.
That's happened in this school that makes me as mad as this.
Yeah, I know. I feel the same way.
Do you have any idea who might have done it?
Well, the two kids that I might have suspected were in my class at the time it was written.
I hate sneaks. Well, another thing I hate to mention, Pete. I guess we better know. Do we have one problem or two?
What do you mean?
I mean, in your opinion, is Howard a homosexual?
Well, in my opinion, I have no idea. All I know is that Howard is a nice, decent kid, and he's a good student. And he was very hurt by all this.
Yeah. Well, let's find out what we can. Have you had a chance to talk to him yet?
I tried, but he was too busy washing off his locker and pretending it was all a big joke.
A joke? Oh, beautiful.
Well, anyway, Liz is going to have a meeting with him this afternoon.
Well, that's good. Maybe something will come of that.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. Right. I hate sneaks.
So do I.
Hey, Bernie. Oh, hi, Howard. Weren't we supposed to work during lunch?
Yeah, well, I had to take care of something else. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I knew it had to be something.
Yeah, well, I should have let you know, but you see, I have this other project at lunchtime.
Don't sweat it, Bernie. I had something else during lunch. So,
Yeah, well, we'll catch up on it later on, okay?
all right. Later on.
Howard, I'd like you to consider taking more science courses next semester.
Oh. What's wrong with the fine arts program I've chosen? Not masculine enough.
I was referring to your SATs. You scored in the upper 10 percentile, and I didn't want you to overlook any area where you showed promise.
I'm sorry.
Howard, you want to talk about it? I'm here to help. And I'd like to if I can.
How do you figure on helping me, Miss McIntyre? Can you make me into some kind of all-American hero? So people look up at me and say immediately, that's a man? Can you cure my asthma?
Howard, that...
Can you make me stronger? Can you show me how to talk to girls without feeling like a fool?
No, I can't. But if you feel changes are necessary, I guess you have to make them. Hello? Oh, Mrs. Martinez.
Howard? I've been looking for you. I'm sorry about what's happened. Yeah, I sort of feel responsible.
Oh, you're not.
I know I'm not, really. But if it hadn't been for the play...
Don't worry about it, Miss Johnson. I'm not going to.
Good.
I'm dropping out of the play.
Yes, Mrs. Martinez. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, thank you. Goodbye.
Howard just told me that he's dropping out of the play.
Well, could be worse. At least he's not dropping out of school.
Well, right now, I wish I were dropping out of school.
Yeah, me too. You know, sometimes this job can be so frustrating. I'm supposed to be a counselor, right? A boy in trouble comes to me and I can't find a way to help him. What do I do?
This whole thing makes me so mad.
It makes all of us mad, including Howard.
Good. I mean, maybe if he gets mad enough, he'll do something about it.
Alice, you just said a mouthful.
Well, it's kind of late in the season to go out for the track team.
Does that make me ineligible?
No. Not if you really want to try.
Oh, I do, Coach. I really do.
Okay. Report for practice tomorrow at 4.
Okay, I'll be there.
Hi, Howard.
Helen. Listen, I know this is kind of sudden. I understand if you say no. So don't worry about hurting my feelings.
What are you talking about?
Do you want to go to the movies Friday night?
Sure.
7:30?
Okay.
Listen, if you don't want to, I understand.
Howard, I said okay.
Thank you.
See you later.
Okay, guys. Howard here wants to try out for the team. So let's try to get a time on him. Line up over there, Howard.
What's going on, man? You gotta see this, that's all.
On your mark. Set. Go.
You better go back to playing chicks.
You all right?
Yeah.
What happened?
Asthma.
You got asthma that bad and you go out for the track team? What are you trying to prove?
Oh, nothing. Not anymore.
You all right? Sure?
Oh, maybe not. Listen, maybe we ought to call it off for Friday.
Why?
Well, I don't think I'm going to be up to it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Some other time, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Read chapters 11 and 12. That's all. Howard? You're a little late on the term project. Anything wrong?
I wasn't feeling too good. I'll get it in.
I hear you quit the play.
Yeah. My sense of humor isn't quite what I thought it was.
And the radio project? And the tryouts for the track team?
Yeah, well, I figured it'd be better to conserve my energy.
For what? More quitting?
Listen, Mr. Dixon. I realize you and Miss McIntyre are only trying to be helpful. But there's no use talking about it. I tried to be something that I wasn't. It didn't work out.
How about being just what you are?
That's very interesting. I mean, I don't know what I am. Do you? I know what my name is. I know where I live, what I like to do. But what am I, Mr. Dixon? According to them, I'm just an it.
I think you're a boy about to become a man.
Yeah, that's the magic word. Listen, since I don't seem to fit anyone's bill, maybe you can give me a definition. Please, tell me, what is a man?
Howard, there are as many answers to that question as there are men. Some people think it's one who has courage and can face responsibility. Others think it's anyone who can chase girls. Look, Howard, I can't define to you what a man is. It's just something that you'll have to feel.
But I don't feel it, Mr. Dixon.
How old are you?
16.
I realize that it doesn't all hang together right away, but give it time. It will.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
Come on, I'll walk you out.
I'll see you later, Mr. Dixon.
Okay, Howard.
Hi, Mr. Dixon.
Hi, Bertie.
Mr. Dixon. I guess Howard told you what a rat I am.
No, as a matter of fact, you didn't.
Well, I'm saying I'm a rat, okay?
Okay.
I mean, I really feel bad about it.
A lot of people do, Bertie.
I don't know how it all happened.
Well, let me tell you. See, Howard Foster was accused of being a homosexual. You were his only friend, you ran out on him. Why?
I don't know. There was no reason for me to act like that. I'm gonna make it up to him.
Dixon, come quick. Howard Foster's fighting.
Come on, Fairy. Hit me back. Hit me back.
Oh, no. I know I can't beat you up, you big stupid lug. So why even try?
Howie, you need any help?
No, I don't. I may not be able to fight this baboon, but I'm not gonna have anybody do it for me. And I'm not gonna run away either. Thanks for the offer, Bernie.
Howie, you can't be...
I said I'd handle it and I'd take off.
Boy, you are really begging for it, aren't you?
Oh, sorry. But you don't scare me anymore. You already shot your best shot. You made me feel pretty bad about myself. You're not gonna make me feel any worse.
Okay, man. Figures you wouldn't want to fight anyway.
Oh, I want to fight! But not on your terms.
Hey, look. I am leaving you alone. What do you want from me?
I want to know if by putting me down, it makes you all feel like men. I want to know if writing on my locker is your standard for real guts.
What's gotten into him?
Nothing that wasn't there before.
I call it cheap and gutless. And if that's the best way you have to make yourselves look good, then you're welcome to it. Do you really think I play the girl's part in the play? If I were really trying to hide what you say I am? Why don't you think on that one? And even if you could make something of it, what about you? I notice you guys out in the football field when you win a game. All over each other, hugging and kissing. Suppose people picked up on that and made something of it. What would you say? Oh, that's different. That's sport. Well, it's no good. It's what anybody wants to make of it. I'm not so sure what a man is, but I do know what he isn't, and that's you.
Pretty nice. Beautiful. Hey, man, who is she? I don't know. Ask me 5 minutes after I propose.
Andrea Martin, welcome to Whitman High. Let's see. You have homeroom with Mr. Dixon, English with Miss Johnson, science with Mr. Gerard. I don't see any basic biology here.
I never had any.
That's funny. You should have had it in one of the schools you've been to.
I guess it wasn't meant to be.
Either that or you left before they got to it. 23 schools means a lot of moving around.
Daddy's a very important engineer.
Arabia, Bolivia, Peru, Algeria. I envy you. That sounds very exciting.
Why? You have your karma and I have mine.
Right. Well, Andrea, you seem to have a fairly consistent C+ average. But something tells me you can do better. Maybe we'll inspire you to try a little harder.
Thank you, Miss McIntyre. But it all comes out the same in the end, doesn't it? Excusez.
Who's that?
Andrea Martin, new student.
Exotic.
Exotic's not the word. She is weird.
Okay, what does that name bring to mind?
The kind of advertising they can do on TV anymore.
Let's go back to the colonial period, Jason. Say about 1692. Anyone?
The witchcraft trials, where they burned people suspected of being witches.
Right. Anybody want to discuss that period?
Yeah, it was scary. People around there just had some kind of paranoid hang-up. One wrong word and zap. You were in the heat, man.
Yeah, those trials were really a bummer. You know, they just want to get rid of anybody who didn't fit in.
I was thinking, in a way, we still have that same kind of problem today. Persecution of anyone different. Well, they just used more dramatic means in those days.
Kim?
Well, people have just changed their methods today. They're more subtle. I mean, if you're an outsider now, they don't burn you. They ignore you. They still shut you out.
Oh, it's better to be shut out than burnt out.
Or being drowned or stoned. Witches have been persecuted all throughout history. In medieval times, it was a practice to tie a large rock around the neck of someone suspected of being a witch, and then throwing them in the river. If they floated back to the surface, they were guilty. And then they were hanged. Now you, Jason, I guess you to be an Aries.
Right on. Now, how did you know that?
High forehead, typical frown line between the brows, aggressive manner.
Well, now that's spooky.
Can't you guess what I am?
Pisces or Cancer?
Pisces. That's fantastic.
Big deal. 2 lucky guesses.
I bet I know more about you than you think I do, Bernie Miller.
Uh-oh. Look out, Bernie.
Your favorite color is red. You have a souped-up car and no steady girlfriend. How's that for openers?
Jackpot.
She talked to somebody. You talked to somebody, right?
You want to know more?
Well, only if it's good stuff.
I'll read your tarot cards. I see you as the King of Pentacles.
Make that tentacles, man. You'll come a lot closer.
Yes, my dear, I'll show you exactly what he means.
I see someone very important coming into your life. Someone tall and dark.
Ooh, I love already. What she look like?
Like Mr. Kaufman.
What do we got here? The Walt Whitman Gypsy Tea Room?
Andrea's reading cards, Mr. Kaufman. Let her do yours.
Fortune telling is not allowed on campus.
How come?
Well, believe it or not, there's a Board of Education rule and a city ordinance. Better put the cards away, Andrea.
That's okay. I don't need them anyway.
Well, back to the learning tree.
Have a nice trip, Mr. Kaufman.
Talk about power of suggestion.
I caught him. Yes, I held him. It may be imagined with what a passion, but at the end of a minute, I began to feel what it truly was that I held. We were alone with the quiet day, and his little heart, dispossessed, had stopped. Kim, don't get it, Miss Johnson. What happened to Miles?
He died.
I know. But why?
Because Peter Quint was defeated by the governess. So he took his victim with him.
Very good, Helen.
Yes. Helen was close, but not quite to the point, Miss Johnson.
Have you read The Turning of the Screw?
Many times.
Well, great. Jump right in.
Well, the real point is that Peter Quint's powers were revealed. And in the occult world, that can carry serious consequences.
I mean, she never answers a straight question.
Or looks you straight in the eye when she talks to you.
There's definitely something about that girl. Makes you think she's playing with loaded dice.
Bet you I know who you're talking about. Andrea Martin, right?
Right. What do you think about her?
She's weird. You know, she reminds me of me.
You?
Yeah, well, when I was in school, I was kind of short and fat and had funny teeth and...
No offense, Alice, but so far that does not sound like Andrea.
I know, but the point is that I didn't feel good about myself. I didn't know how to go about making friends, so I found a gimmick. I started being the clown, and I made everybody laugh, and, well, then everybody liked me. But the point is that Andrea's never been in one place long enough to make friends, right?
That's right.
So she found a gimmick. She plays the mysterious lady.
You know, Alice, I think you just helped me make a decision.
I have?
Mm-hmm. Mr. Kaufman, I think Andrea should take her midterms with the rest of her class.
Well, she's only been here a week.
Do you think it's fair to put that kind of pressure on her so soon?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I think it might be unfair not to.
Say, what is that thing you wear around your neck anyway?
It's called an amulet, Bernie.
Dig it. She rubs her magic amulet, says the magic words abracadabra and zappo, straight A's.
Heavy.
I want a witch just like the witch that went to Walt Whitman High.
Why don't you just drop it?
That was really a spooky coincidence in the cafeteria, wasn't it?
Do you think that was a coincidence, Hal?
Sure. Don't you?
Witches don't rely on coincidence. They have powers.
You really believe you're a witch?
Don't ask me questions like that, Helen. The secrets must never be revealed.
Well, listen, Andrea. I just wanted to say that, well, I know you're in a tough spot about midterms and everything. Kim and I have all the notes. We'd be glad to help you cram.
Well, thanks for the offer, but like I said before, it won't be necessary. Hey, Dad, what are you doing here?
I have some great news, baby. I just couldn't wait to tell you.
Oh, I hope it's a rent.
I came to tell you we can unpack our bags. You don't have to keep changing schools anymore.
What do you mean?
I've been made vice president of the company. We're here for good. You're going to graduate from this school.
By the time the witch hunt fever was over, 1,000 people had been tortured and tried. 20 had been killed. Most of them were elderly women who had no friends to support them. Eventually, Judge Sewell, who presided at the trials, admitted his error, as did others who were responsible. But it was too late for the innocent victims. It's interesting to note that the word Salem means peace.
Very good research, Ellen. I'd like to ask you a question. The witches, or those suspected of being witches, what was their behavior that led others to accuse them?
I suppose some of them were a little bit crazy. Others did healing, and some of them did practice the occult. Just like people today.
Oh, you think witches exist today?
I know they do.
Well, tell me something. Why do you think people turn to the occult?
Because they're weird.
That's not necessarily true. Centuries ago, it was considered an esoteric religion.
Religion?
Sure. It was practiced by the Druids, the Phoenicians, the Egyptians.
And the weirdos.
Do you consider everything you don't understand weird, Bernie?
Yeah.
Okay, read pages 24 through 30 for tomorrow.
teakwoods, cedar, orange citron. Rose leaves dried in the sun. Balsam oil over all. Sorry, Miss Johnson.
What were you doing?
There was a spell from an ancient book of magic to make someone change his mind.
Your father? Is this about exams, Andrea? I mean, is that what you're afraid of?
I'm not afraid of anything. It's just that I don't want things to change, that's all. Father and I were gypsies. We roam all over the world. I don't want to stay here and pretend I'm like those children out there.
Aren't you?
Of course not. I've seen things that they couldn't even imagine.
Maybe so. But they've done some things that you haven't done before.
Yeah, like what?
Like hanging in there when the going gets rough. Like working on relationships.
Your turn, Andrea. Do you know how? I mean, did you play volleyball at your last school?
Of course.
Let's give it the old double whammy there, Witchy Poo.
She must think all she has to do is pass her hand over the ball, and it's gonna fly by itself. And if it do, you'll be surprised, won't you?
Why didn't you guys go back to your own side of the field? My amulet! It's gone! Well, we'll help you find it, Andrea.
Hey, everybody. Andrea lost her good luck charm.
It's not a good luck charm. It's a magic amulet. I can't do anything without it.
Could you lost on the way to school?
I don't know. I just don't know, but I have to have it.
Why don't you girls go look inside the locker room? We'll cover out here.
Come on. I have to have it. I have to have that amulet. I've come for transfer papers, Miss McIntyre. My father's job fell through, and we'll be moving again.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, well, we're going to Iran. It's a fascinating country.
I can imagine it is.
Could I have those papers, please?
Certainly.
I'll just fill them out and hand them in to the attendance office before I go.
Okay.
Thank you.
How do you plan to do it, Andrea?
Do what?
Well, I guess you can pretend you're leaving for school in the morning, and you can go to the park, or you can go to the movies, or you can take a ride on a bus. But what happens when your father wants to see a report card? I mean, I really can't figure how you're going to do it.
We are moving, Miss McIntyre.
No, Andrea, no good. I heard about your amulet being lost, and I was expecting you. I hate this office. Let's take a walk.
Moving around so much, I never really got a chance to know anyone, and I used to get really scared every time we had to move to a new place. Then I met this old lady in India, and she gave me the amulet, and she put this powerful spell on it, and after that I wasn't scared anymore.
Did you really believe that spell, Andrea?
Yes.
Well, it's not working too well for you. I mean, you tried one and you almost burned down the utility room, right?
I don't know enough yet.
Is that it? Or is it that you're caught in your own little trap? You know, you can experience magic without the mumbo-jumbo words and the props.
I don't know what you mean.
I believe any experience that really changes you is magic. Like falling in love, or like having a little child put all of his trust in you. Or like friends who suddenly show up just when you need them. Back to the salt mine. You still want those papers?
As the great Eastern prophet Gibran once said, what's the use? You're on to me.
You're going to be just fine.
Oh, hey, Andrea. Annie love? Wasn't it in Lost and Found?
No.
Hi.
Hello. Don't look now, but, is that the witch of Whitman High laughing and scratching like an ordinary kid?
Yes, it is.
Helen, do you and Kim still want to help me cram for those midterms?
Sure. Well, come on. We were just on our way to the library.
Well, you two don't know anything about science. I better take over that department.
Your assignment tomorrow is to read chapters 29 and 30. Okay, see you tomorrow. Class dismissed.
Hey, Bernie, how'd you do in midterm?
Oh, not bad. I could have done much better, though, but didn't want to spoil the class average.
That's so Bernie always looking out for the other guy.
Andrea, can I see you a minute?
Yeah. I'll meet you at the lockers.
Okay. Congratulations. You handed in the best written quiz I've seen all year.
Nothing to it, just worked a plain old ordinary magic spell.
Oh?
Yeah, it's called 4 Years of Reading Turn of the Screw from Cover to Cover.
That should do it. How about your other subjects? How are they coming along?
Not bad, not bad. Was there anything else you want to speak to me about, Miss Johnson?
Yes, come on. I think this belongs to you.
My amulet. Oh, wow, you don't know how much this means to me. Where'd you find it?
Under your desk.
Oh, wow. Now everything's going to be just perfect. When did you find it under my desk?
The day of the finals.
So that's why I did so good on the tests. It was under my desk all the time.
No, it wasn't. It was in my desk. I found it before you came in.
You did? Well, why didn't you give it to me sooner?
You were doing so great without it, and... Well, I figured it was kind of important that you find that out. Oh, let me put it this way. I hardly ever do Bugs Bunny anymore.
Oh, what?
Wait, it's a long story. Come on. I will tell you all about it. Come on.